Hi everyone, Dave Barnum here, just traveling along the 407 Express route in the Big Smoke, headed back to the Messina area. I've just spent the weekend in this region, and like I said, I'm just heading back home. But I want to share a talk for the listeners out there on my 53 Bridges series, and today's talk is entitled, What's in Your Lunch Pail? I want to take you back to the year 1993, when myself, my wife and I, and a few other leaders took a group of young people. It was one of the largest teams we've ever taken in a cross-cultural setting, but there were about 25 to 30 of us, and we traveled from the city of Calgary down to one of the most dangerous cities presently in North America, and at the time, a difficult town at that time back in 93, and that would be the city of Juarez, Mexico, right on the Mexico-Texas border, bordering El Paso, Texas. But anyway, we took a team down there to extend a message of faith and hope and just goodwill. And one of the things that we utilized, and it was near the end of our 2-week or so trip there, was we held a little basketball tournament in one of the barrios there. And we put together our really lousy Canadian team, and we faced off against some really good basketball players, some Mexican kids. And some other things we did to reach out into that community was they did some face painting. We had some music. I think they might have had, where you make the little balloon animals and different characters and stuff like that. But anyways, at the end of the basketball tournament, which I thank goodness I did not play in, I was an official at the time and refereed, and the Mexican kids just absolutely spanked us. And I think it was 2 Mexican teams that faced off against each other in the final. And at the end, we gave out t-shirts, and I think we had some medals and just different awards like an MVP award in that. But I remember the real palpable sense of goodwill and happiness and really a sense of joy that would bring you to tears at the end of that outreach. And despite the socioeconomic differences, the racial differences, the ethnic differences, the geographical differences, the young people were very, very, very successful because they just used what they had, and they showed a lot of love and compassion and real open-mindedness. And that kindness that we brought, the Mexican kids also offered, and the adults in the community offered back to us. And it was a couple thousand years ago that the great teacher, while teaching over the course of an entire day to the multitudes, said to those upstart students of his protégés, what can we feed these people? And folks, I got to tell you, there was no big McDonald's around or Burger King or any fast food place or any supermarket to feed thousands of hungry listeners. And of course, the young men that he was mentoring said, well, where are we going to get food to feed all these people? And he said, well, what have you got in your hands? And there was a young man, a young boy, who had a lunch pail filled with fish and with bread, and he said, give it to me. And he utilized that, and he fed all those listeners and their bellies. They went home filled in their bellies. They went home happy in their hearts. And I just want to say to each one of you out there, whatever your gifts are, whatever your skills are, whatever you've got in your hand, whatever you've got in your lunch pail, you just take it and use it in your community. And you'll be amazed at the difference that you can make when you communicate your good thoughts and your goodwill towards those around you. I also want to give a shout out to my son Joshua, who's in the San Francisco area this weekend, who put out a little blurb that was advertising this little talk. Thanks to you, Joshy. And I also want to say, way to go to my niece Desiree and her wonderful husband, Packard, because you guys have lived this message, and you did something similar to what we did, but you did it in your everyday life. It wasn't a special event. When you coached that girls' softball team, and kids from different kinds of backgrounds, different kinds of neighborhood issues, and communities that have a tough time, through your love, through your skill, and through your willingness to teach and to learn yourselves, you touched the hearts of all those young girls, had a successful season, and you'll continue to be successful going forth, guys. So once again, folks, it's Dave Barnum here. Wherever you are, wherever life finds you, you use what's in your lunch pail, and you take it to the world that you live around, and you watch the difference that you'll make in people's lives. So Dave Barnum here, flying through the city of Toronto. Until the next time I see you, or the next time we speak, remember everyone, make sure you keep your hearts and souls sweet. Bye-bye.